What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is me, Zoe, here on Contychat. And as usual, if you don't know what is Contychat, it is a hybrid show that combines both TV and radio. Now, today, though, before that, I want to remind everyone that if you want to listen to our previous podcast, you can either go on to RTM Click or you can also search podcast.rtm.gov.my. So today on our topic, we're going to be speaking about AI or artificial intelligence. Honestly, since I think this was in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, the first Chinese or the first AI newscaster was introduced. I know AI was getting for my job, like no doubt in that. But how can AI actually help us in various different industries is what we want to speak about today. So I have two experts. I have Lim Chi Hao, also Shi Jin, or better known as Jin, up on the show, and they are both AI experts. How are you feeling, gentlemen?
Yeah, feeling great today.
Never better.
Good to have you to have me here. I mean, good to have everyone here to talk about AI, because I think AI is a very interesting topic to talk right now, and it grows so much difference, higher speed in the last 1 year in this time right now.
Exactly. With the introduction of so many different applications, we have what now? ChatGPT. What else do we have?
Midjourney.
Yeah, Google Bard.
It's insane as compared to what, even like you said, even a year ago we didn't have all of this.
All these things is just suddenly pop up, mushroom out from nothing.
Right. So with that, I want to ask you first and foremost: do you think AI is gonna gun for your job? Do you think AI is gonna replace you in your respective fields? Jin, what do you think?
So for my side is the big difference. Because right now I am teaching AIs and machine learning in university.
Okay.
So yeah, so I would say that it actually helped me in my jobs and actually make my job much easier. But I can feel that if you're in the fields, in some spaces that you're actually getting replaced by AI, you might feel a bit nervous about your job security right now.
Yeah, like myself. We had here in Malaysia, we had the first AI radio announcer already introduced. So I'm like shaking my boots right now. What about you, Chi? Do you think AI is gonna gun for your job anytime soon?
I think higher skilled workers, they don't have to worry at this moment. I don't know, maybe in 20 years they have much more to worry about, but right now it's more of a helper. It's an assistant, help you to really ease your work, right? But unfortunately for the lower skilled workers, they do have something to worry about. But it's also an opportunity in my opinion, because now they can upskill to do something more meaningful in their life, right? Instead of doing the same thing, mundane work over and over again, that can be replaced by AI while they maybe get upskilled to do something else.
I want to speak about the higher skill and lower skill worker side. Because you see that AIs technically they cannot replace so much of the two lower skill. Let's say you need to repair your cars, AI can't do it yet. If you want to install your house, kitchens, everything like that. Apparently those lower skill have more job security. So it's actually the middle part that actually affect the most actually. The one that managing the lower skill people and the one that have to listen to higher skill people who commands, because now AI can actually replace your job. Managing those people actually. So that's very interesting idea. I look at it.
Let's give some examples of the job scopes, the middle job scopes here, right? That can potentially be replaced by AI. So what are some of the job scopes? I think bank tellers, bank counters, possibly, yes. What other job scopes do you think AI could possibly replace within the next 1 to 5 years?
I think the one that I see replacing the fastest one is actually translator. So before this, because AI it goes so fast, it grows so fast. When last time, you remember a time where by using Google Translate, the thing translate out is like, I don't actually understand this. You translate something word from Chinese to Malay or English to Malay, something like that. You say that, oh, this is funny. It becomes something like very funny, like something hijau, something like that. And right now, if you see how the transformer model being used, the LLM model being used, you're surprised that it actually translates better than a human translator can be. It can actually have more versions. Like, I want to make it much more poetic. I want to make it much more aggressive. I want to make it to the point, summarize. And AI actually can generate better than human translator can right now and faster. So I think for me, translator is the one that impact the most right now. Especially now translator, they are counting their pay per words. And AI counting their pay in like 1 per 100 times, maybe 1,000 times less than what human pay is gonna be.
Exactly. And you don't necessarily have to again pay AI per word. because AI is the technology, is the assistance. It's there. You don't even necessarily have to pay it, even, right?
Well, legally, the scientists or the program that created that getting paid anyway.
Yeah, but not the AI technology itself. It's a creator that gets paid. Right. What about you, Chiha? What are some of the jobs that you think will be replaced by AI?
I think admin definitely. You know, you used to have maybe a PA. Maybe you don't need a PA anymore. Yeah, because you have assistant helping you to check whether your schedule is clear. What's the commute time from here to the next meeting? Does it make sense to schedule it with just a 30-minute gap or 1 hour gap? Yeah, things like that, right? So I think that's where I think it has the most impact. Another area will be things that we normally serve, which is quality control. So on like the manufacturing floor, typically you have like people just sitting in one row and they're getting products and they're doing very mundane sort of inspection every day. So those are the kind of work that will be replaced because because AI now can do inspection much more quickly. You have less human factors, distractions like your phone or talking to people, and then missing out a certain defect on a product. So those are the areas that I feel will be most impacted.
So essentially AI is better than us in terms of focus, right?
Definitely. Consistency and focus. And they can work 24/7.
Exactly. They will never ever tire out. Like us, we need at least 8 hours of sleep. Lucky. That's if you're lucky, right? AI doesn't need sleep at all. So with that, we cannot deny that AI will eventually hopefully not replace some of these like you said, middle, we don't want to use high or low, but middle skill jobs, like the middle part, right? So how can actually companies, corporations, even AI experts like yourself help to ease this transition? What are some of these steps right now companies should be looking at in terms of introducing AI into their daily lives?
I can share a little bit of what we do, right? Because we help to automate, let's say, quality inspection or visual inspection. So now, what do these people do? They can help with improving the AI, one thing. So what we do, we need a lot of data, and data also requires annotation. If you don't know what annotation means, that means you need to identify an object and you say, this is a defect, that is not a defect. So these are the experts that have been working for many years, so they know exactly where to identify that, but the AI doesn't. So we normally get them to do jobs like that, and then they can inspect the AI system that's operating in place and help to trigger certain action, like, hey, this is not correct and this is correct, for example. So those are the things that I think they can do. They can move up sort of the chain, right, to be more of a managerial level, to help manage systems, operate systems, instead of just doing the work themselves. So I think that's sort of a transition that corporations can do when they are going to replace that one role with automation. They can upgrade them to do more managerial role of the AI system.
Okay, I see that. What about you, Jin?
So I want to use a story I heard from Steve Jobs. So Steve Jobs, back in 1990s, he actually go through interviews. He mentioned one thing about this. He used to read a scientific journal that talk about how humans are compared to other animals, especially in terms of energy spans in travel the distance. So apparently the top range is condor, or the eagle, like great eagles. They can fly very far with very little energies, and human is like very bottom at least. But then the scientific journal also do a calculation that human with tools, human with bicycle, human bicycle had 3 times travel more efficient than condor itself. So I like to think that AI is the bicycle of mind. AI is the bicycle of our human technology, because we use tools. We are able to use tools, we're able to advance faster and better. So AI should be seen as a companion, the assistant, rather than replacing the human itself. It actually just make human make better decision, better judgment.
Right. I love that. I love that both of you mentioned that at the end of the day, AI is just a tool to assist in our daily lives or in our daily jobs. And that, again, what the biggest pro I think in this is that it can eliminate a lot of human errors. It can assist us when we're tired, when we're not able to do the job. Like you said, now mundane jobs, can be replaced by AI. Now can find more meaningful jobs in life, or more meaningful things to do with your life. But what some of the cons of introducing AI to your job to replace all these middle skilled workers? What are some of the cons of it? I want to know. What do you think? Is there any?
So let's take ChatGPT as an example. So ChatGPT is something we'll call LLM, a large language model. So a large language model require you to actually provide you a lot of trainings, a lot of inputs that actually get so-called the big brain that you have right now. And the problem is, what kind of input actually determine what kind of output you get.
Okay.
So right now you get a lot of good content in English. But if you are a Malay user, you actually try to use Ask ChatGPT stuff, you notice that it hasn't output that good content in the first place because it wasn't that many Malay content we input inside there.
Right.
So if you rely on AI too much and your the input wasn't actually available there, you actually scope yourself down to a much more very different way that you're not getting the whole pictures.
Okay.
You're actually looking at things that just AI provide to you, and AI learn from something that they scope by this. So in future, we're afraid that if there's no control at it, there's no information that keep pumping information in it, you actually get I wouldn't say directed, but I say influenced by AI to think in a certain way only, rather than think of multiple ways. That is a danger of using large language model actually.
Okay.
Yeah, bias, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that biasness right there. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break right after this. Since you talk about change, and I'm actually very, very curious whether or not Malaysia is actually ready, or whether or not our policy makers are currently, in discussion to regulate all this AI technology. Because again, AI is advancing as quickly as we're making technology. So whether or not we are going to regulate AI, whether or not we are ready for it, our policymakers are ready for it, and maybe you guys can suggest what are the policies that could possibly be introduced. We're going to speak to them about it right after the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Kepercayaan kepada Tuhan,
kesetiaan kepada raja dan negara,
keluhuran perlembagaan,
kedaulatan undang-undang,
kesopanan dan kesusilaan,
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and on the second half of our show, we're actually going to be speaking about the dangers of AI. So I think within over the pandemic, I believe, I noticed that there were a lot, and when I say a lot, there were a lot of these deep fake videos, and they were so good.
Yeah.
They were so accurate that even a couple of politicians had to clarify that, hey, this is not me. This is clearly a deep fake. It's AI. It's fake. So in terms of that, in terms of personal privacy and data security, where are we at right now with the introduction of AI and whatnot, and what happened with all these hackers? Okay, I don't want to get into it. You guys can of course Google the video, and you guys can watch the interviews. But elections are a big threat as well, right?
Yeah.
So how are we here in Malaysia? We still go through the old school way where we go for, we have ballots. So that's lucky on us. But what about countries who do use electronic voting? Are they at risk here? What do you think?
No, maybe I want to just go back to the deepfake side of things.
Okay,
right?
Go back to it, the original.
Yeah, because I think for any technology, there's always counterbalance, right? So you can fight technology with technology.
Okay.
So as soon as deepfakes are out, there's already deepfake detector.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So of course, deepfakes will get better and better. But at the same time, the deepfake detector will also get better and better. So there's always a counterbalance there. It's the same like virus, right? So yeah, we used to have computer viruses, and there's still a lot, and then you have the antivirus software, so that's always the counterbalance. It doesn't stop people from coding. So I don't think AI should not advance because there are people using it for not very good purposes. But I think the only thing we can do is to make sure there are always counterbalance tools in place, so that as soon as there's something, you can have a verification process where you know whether this could be wrong, or this is fake news, or this video is a deep fake, right? So I think I saw that like recently on like Twitter, where there's community notes, so that's more contributed by humans, but maybe in the future, whenever someone uploads a video, there will be a check immediately on that and say this could potentially be a deep fake, right? So hopefully that will help.
Actually, the problem with deepfake, right, is actually not a new issue. Actually, you look at the think about it. Deepfake and the fake currency, the fake money, is technically the same thing. I mean, we always have the issue that people printed a fake currency and use it. So how do we counter this? By innovating, we put a new currency, we have more special check on the currency, everything like that. And the last but not least is the whole issue actually get averted by not fixing the currency, but introducing a digital currency, which is like now e-wallets, everything like that. And right now, more and more people use e-wallets. It's actually harder to actually sell, give you a fake currency and use it in the market right now. So there's a few ways to do it, but I think the more we can help about this deepfake issue is actually about education.
I love that. Yeah, I mean that I wouldn't think about like how to that comparison to like fake money and like deepfake. I actually really love that's gonna stick in my brain for a very, very long time. So speaking of which, we're gonna go back to how we don't have policies now. We don't have specific regulations to regulate AI. So with technological advancement, I think what I feel personally AI is missing. We're gonna come back to the policy, but I'll touch this a little bit before we go towards the policy. Is that I was reading about how right now AI is not able to generate emotion. AI is at the end of the day, it's just another form of technology, right? But once things like, I think it was like quantum technology is introduced, and if we have reached that point in AI, and then AI is able to emulate feelings, emulate human sympathy and all that, is that going to be a danger to our daily lives as well, and how AI is going to take over? Because I'm thinking about Terminator here. Like once AI is able to really think by itself, where am I gonna go? How am I gonna function as a human being? What job can I do now? So what do you think on that before we go towards policies?
Well, I think right now some AI bots have portrayed a little bit of emotion already. Yeah, they're pretty personal. And I think there's also a lot of advancement right now in AI, so you can actually keep things in context. In the past, you used to ask a question, you ask the next question, they don't know what it relates to. So now context is very well retained. You can have a really good, I would say, intimate conversation with an AI bot if you want to, right? Yeah, so that's I think in the future, but right now the AI bot doesn't learn from new data sets yet. So it's just basically a large language model, but we never know in 5 or 10 years time whether it will pick up from what you have learned, save it in memory or something, so it remembers what you have said last time, so it can give you more personalized recommendations or even comments that will shock you. Who
knows, after this the keyboard warrior will actually be an AI, right? Not an actual human being anymore.
So I got a friend who actually created a very funny social experiment. So a friend called Dylan actually created something called Abeng GPT.
Abeng GPT.
So basically he's basically put a Instagram's chat bot that actually try to challenge people to actually buy iPhone from this AI.
Okay.
So you'll try your best to lowball the iPhone price. Like, hey, sell me cheaper lah, do something like this lah. So they actually tested a few and tried to actually fine tuning the emotions. And one of the things that is finding actually that people actually keep talking to the chatbot itself. You would thought that people will, after a while, they say, hey, this is AI. We know this is AI, but I'm just gonna play around with it and get one of my certifications, and then I get done with it. No, there are people who keep chatting with it after a few months. Like every day, it's like, we'll say hello, how are you, so everything like that. It treated the real humans that he was surprised, and it's just not just 1 or 2 people, it's actually a huge group of people actually. So he was surprised at how people take accepting AI not just as a emotional support thing.
Yeah.
So for him, all this AI been created with a purpose to assist human. So the emotional, the whole thing, right, is actually just an additive add-ons that actually help you to be much more friendly and much more approachable for humans. But in the end, you're trying to create AI that actually to assist in your job. So in terms of your fear about Skynet, everything that if AI be used in war itself, which we already see how much we'll be using. Now war is no longer people going out and fighting, they just drone flying around, throwing
That's
bombs,
right.
everything like that. And everything is very precision, right? You don't see anyone do a bombardment that whole area. It's just one missile going, okay, we kill our targets, then get out of it. So it's a bit different right now, but it's not far from the Skynet future. But I think that as long the humans want to get on power itself, I don't think AI will take over that easily, because ultimately no one want to have a computer rules over the humankind.
Yeah.
So we are using AI as a tools assist our objective. And I think for right now, the trend seems to be going that way still. It's hard to say that we're gonna see the other way around.
Right.
Yeah.
So coming back to all of that, how are we in the talks of regulating all this AI technology? Is it even in conversation now? What do you think?
In the US, yes.
In the US, yes, I know that.
I
in
mean,
the UK as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of talk
Yeah.
about regulating AI, and it's kind of hard to regulate, to be honest. But I think the biggest thing that the governments can do is to not concentrate AI power on one or two private companies, which is turning out to be the case currently. Yeah, I think that's why US and UK are trying to regulate, because their countries, they have companies that are doing that, and they are moving so fast that the other companies cannot catch up. So they will soon become a monopoly or duopoly in this industry, which is impossible to be regulated. I think in Malaysia there's less cases of that, but I think I would advocate for regulation, definitely, like certification process, right? Before you release this product, is it really safe? Is it accurate? Is there biases? Things like that, right? So there should be a checklist to be sort of certified by a government body before you release the product to be used by consumers and companies.
Whatever helps technological advancement, I'm all for it.
Yes.
If it assists, if it makes our life much easier, I'm really pro for it. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are slowly running out of time. Any last words, gentlemen, before we, any closing remarks regarding AI? What do you see in the future, or what do you hope AI will do I would say, I would give it a year lah. I'll give it a year. In a year's time, next year, what do you think AI will do?
Wow, 1 year, huh? Yeah, I was thinking like 10 years. But I think 1 year, you'll see new version of GPT that's a lot more powerful. Potentially can learn from what you are talking about for the past few minutes and give you better responses, for example. There will be a lot more interesting use cases that, now really, I mean, because of GPT, you see use cases in every industry.
Yep.
Yeah, and the innovation pace is just so quickly,
Yeah.
because you can literally ask GPT to write even a program for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the developers are also in danger in a way. Yeah.
I've had a friend who had to curate a breakup message using ChatGPT. That's real. So yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
but yeah, I mean, on the positive note, it will be more important assistant for everyone, right? So to help you be a lot more efficient at your work, to help you sort of reduce all this, overhead or mundane part of your job. But on the negative side, definitely, if it becomes too advanced, there will be some jobs that will be threatened. So yeah, you have to find what humans are good in, because AI will never replace everyone, right? So there's always areas where humans are always better at doing a job than an AI bot, right? So yeah, we just have to look out for those areas and be an expert in those areas.
All right, awesome. What about you, Jin? Last
So
words.
what I'm going to say is very simple. AI is gonna keep coming whether you want it or not, and embracing it is our only choice. So from my side, I actually see a lot of generations, the younger generations, they are the one that grow up with ChatGPT beside them.
Yep.
So asking teachers, asking for any adults for confirmations or learning from them no longer seems to be the only options, and the using ChatGPT are much faster than everyone do. like maybe you grow up like learning how to do presentation PowerPoint slide using PowerPoint. You learn how to go to Excel. This kid now basically do Canva and they generate contents immediately on Canva AIs.
Yeah.
And then they write the articles, everything using ChatGPTs. Every students that I go through right now, everyone is using it. So in 1 year time right now, we can see that these students have been learning in a faster space, way faster space than what we are running at now. And I think it's a good thing actually. We shall see how much they can grow, how much further they can reach, because right now the younger kids are having TikTok channel that have way much subscriber than most adult right now. So we can see that it's an interesting thing we go moving forward. I'd love to see how this happens, and we hope that we are the adult here or the ones we can help them to bring that in checks with all the policies and everything in place.
All right, super duper awesome chat, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. And to those of you who are listening, again, if you want to listen to our previous podcast or previous episodes, you can either check out RTM Click or head on over to podcast.rtm.gov.my. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a great weekend. If it's not too late, I would like to wish everyone a happy weekend. Good night. Sayonara. Bye-bye.